You can't afford to get tired.
You can't get
That's
tired.
the thing is, like, he gets tired in a lot of his fights in the later rounds. You should really sort that out. Because if he had a much bigger gas tank, like if he was training with like some of these elite world-class strength and conditioning coaches and just worked on his cardio, he'd be beating way more guys.
Joe Rogan has dropped a bombshell, exposing the biggest mistake Anthony Joshua keeps making, and it could be the one weakness Kristian Prenga looks to exploit on fight night.
Yeah, 100%. But it's like, what he's doing is learning how to box, and he's boxing and he's training hard, for sure. But to get that world-class gas tank, you need like a Sam Calavita, you need like a Nick Curson, you need like these plyometrics experts that are got heart rate monitors on you, and they're checking when your recovery is ready and go.
Yeah.
And you're fucking yeah. You need guys monitoring your recovery, monitoring your heart rate variability, your VO2 max.
I couldn't believe
I don't know. Maybe he is. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he is doing that. But whatever it is, it's not.
It's not enough.
It's not enough.
Yeah.
But Rogan is not alone. Boxing legend Mike Tyson has also pointed out flaws in Joshua's game, warning that those weaknesses could create serious problems as he prepares for his next fight.
I really think I like that. You know, I love Joshua, but I didn't think this Tyson's too elusive. He's not gonna hit him. Listen, we keeping it honest, right? I like Joshua. I like Joshua a lot, right? He don't punch. Maybe he punch harder than what's the other guy? The black guy, Wilder. He doesn't punch faster than Wilder. If he doesn't punch faster than Wilder, he's not gonna touch this guy. And that's just what I see. He punches hard, but he doesn't punch fast. If Tyson Fury can get away from Wilder's fast punches, Joshua might be in trouble.
But that is not what Jake Paul witnessed. A former rival of Mike Tyson who shared the ring with Joshua has a completely different view, believing he remains as dangerous as ever.
When you're tired, all fighting discipline goes out the window.
Yeah.
For those of you watching who haven't boxed, or for the boxers who know, like when you're tired and someone's trying to kill you, honest to God, there's no worse feeling in the world. It's horrible. You can't rationalize like what you should be doing. You should have kept your hands up, bro. You can't. You don't have energy to keep your hands up. You have nothing left to give, and this guy's trying to murder you. I couldn't believe Jake got up 3 times before that. Part of me was like, brother, just stay down. You're cooked, brother. You're exhausted.
Joshua's team was sitting right next to me, yelling at me to tell them to stop the fight.
Yeah.
Because they said he's going to get hurt, and that's when I started like getting panicked, and then he got knocked down.
What Joshua did to Jake was undeniable proof of his incredible power, showing he can do far more than hurt opponents. He can completely humble them inside the ring.
Yeah, I was doing good. I just think my cardio, just the mental pressure of the big guy and sparring the big people is different than the 10-ounce gloves. So I was feeling his power a lot more. But it was a great experience. Like, I learned a lot in there. I can't really talk.
Are you in pain?
Yeah, but it's not from like talking.
Talk to me about what your jaw feels like, because you got
It's like a baseball in there.
two
then
plates?
It just feels like
4 titanium plates.
4 titanium plates. How many do you have?
Just 1.
8 screws. 8 screws.
The way Joshua punished Jake may have entertained many fans, but Dana White slammed the matchup as an embarrassment, arguing it never should have happened in boxing.
Everybody that was involved in that should be embarrassed, and I think that I can't even fucking believe it was allowed to happen. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, he broke his jaw.
Right.
Of course he broke his jaw. He's lucky that's all that happened. He's lucky he's not in a fucking eating out of a feeding tube somewhere, you know?
Do you feel like it was carried for additional rounds?
No.
No?
No. Here's the thing. When you have somebody like Anthony Joshua who's fought at the highest level his whole life, and then you get in there with a guy that's running and tackling, you know what I mean? I'm sure he's never sparred with anybody that's running and tackling.
Despite this, the irony is that Dana said he would have bet his whole fortune on Joshua to win. Yet he admitted the moment that genuinely worried him was when Jake grabbed Joshua's legs, insisting that awkward position could easily have blown out Jake's ACL and caused a devastating knee injury.
Here's the thing. I was willing to bet. I started calling.
Oh, I know you did.
I'd have bet every fucking thing I owned, okay, on that fight. But what I was worried about was that kind of goofy shit happening. And when he started like tackling him and grabbing his legs, all it takes is blow his ACL out.
Yep.
And now he's out of the fight.
Yeah.
And
you living with me.
Yeah, and exactly. Yeah. I'd have been calling you up. Hey, remember all those free tickets?
I gotta call him back, Big. I gotta call him back. And you ate in the back in my lounge.
But the very MMA fighter who suffered under White's own promotion is Tom Aspinall. He lost his title opportunity and has still not received the fight he has been waiting for, making the situation even more ironic. Despite that, Aspinall believes Joshua's biggest flaw come from habits shown in past fights. Yet he still rates Joshua among the greatest heavyweights ever and believes once he hurts Prenga, he will become even more dominant.
Joshua does let his ego take hold a little bit and get dragged into a scrap sometimes. That's what he did against Ruiz in the first fight. That's what he did against Dubois when he fought him a couple of fights ago. So sometimes you start seeing Anthony Joshua get hit with the punches and he likes to trade a little bit too much, which is where Jake Paul could potentially have some success. That being said, as I said, boxing pedigree, Olympic champion, doesn't get much higher. Two-time world heavyweight champion, fought all the best guys barring Tyson Fury. He knows what it's like to be in there, under the pressure, against these big, massive guys who are big, massive punchers, and he knows how to ride the shots, he knows how to finish a fight. Once he gets guys hurt, Anthony Joshua is absolutely clinical.
Speaking on Joshua, Tom said he often gets caught with clean shots, and once that happens, his ego takes over, and his game plan starts to fall apart. He believes the real concern is not Joshua's chin, because he has already proven himself as a heavyweight. Instead, the bigger issue is letting emotion control him, which creates openings that could allow Prenga to turn the fight around.
Big guy, super athletic, loads of power, and he should win pretty easily, but this is combat sports. You just never know.
I know you love this question as well, always for yourself, but Anthony Joshua's chin as well. Thoughts on that?
I think it's heavyweight fighting. If you get hit, you're going over. But I think it's not the chin that's questionable with Anthony Joshua. For me, it's his approach. Sometimes he gets hit, and the boxing, even though he's got this massive boxing pedigree of, like we said, Olympics, all these professional fights at the high level, sometimes when he gets hit, he seems to get dragged into a scrap a little bit too much for me. So I don't think it's the fact.
Dave Allen revealed he was offered a fight with Prenga before facing Arslanbek Makhmudov and wishes he had accepted it instead. Looking at this matchup, Allen believes Joshua wins with ease and finishes the fight within 2 rounds. Tony Bellew is even more confident, predicting it will end before that.
Last October, I got Makhmudov instead.
That was a bit of a change, wasn't it?
Yeah, I wish I watched Prenga.
I bet you do.
I was matching myself at the time. I said to Ed, can I box Prenga? He said, probably not. So I would think it's probably a safe match for Joshua. But I think this is what he needs. Like I say, a training camp is what he needs more than the fight. He's got a lot of experience. I don't think he needs necessarily more fights. But I think Joshua wins inside 2.
Okay. I agree. I think this fight's going to be over pretty quickly and pretty brutally. Prenga, while he can punch, I don't think he has very much going forward. He's going to be going backwards, and I just think AJ lands pretty quickly and it ends even quicker.
The situation has once again become similar to the Jake Paul matchup, with fans and the boxing community expecting Joshua to finish Prenga in the same dominant fashion. Gareth A. Davies believes Joshua must stop Prenga within 2 or 3 rounds to make a statement. Otherwise, he says, it becomes a lose-lose situation where anything less than a quick finish will invite heavy criticism.
And that's what this is all about, you know. Like it's an interesting one because we want to see Anthony Joshua Tyson Fury, but he has to overcome this. And as we saw with Alexander Usyk versus Rico Verhoeven, physically you can get yourself into that condition, but if there's no fear factor here, psychologically you can underperform. We saw that against Usyk, and hopefully we don't see it against Anthony Joshua.
No, because this guy's a boxer and he'll make normal shapes. But Prenga said, and I do agree with him.
Former kickboxer, by the way.
Former kickboxer, yeah, but he's boxed for a long time now, 10 years. The thing about he's saying about AJ is this is a lose-lose for him, and unless AJ goes in there and dominates him and knocks him out, which I believe he'll do inside 3 rounds, if not 2, I think it is a lose-lose for him, and I think Prenga's right in that respect.
While Jake Paul still could not escape the criticism after taking that beating, Gareth Ape Davies insists that was never a real fight for Joshua. In his view, stepping into the ring with someone like Prenga, who has 20 professional bouts and a strong knockout ratio, is the genuine test. He believes Joshua must take control from the opening bell and dominate early to prove his point.
Again, that's the mind games, and I think that Prenga's spot on with that analogy. Anthony Joshua has to go in there, he has to be spiteful, he has to get the job done for me inside 3 rounds as well. There's no feeling out process. You've got to go in there and show that you are back, make a statement. I think that's what he has to do, AJ. So he's in a lose-lose situation, going into this one, because that's what people expect.
And he hasn't actually won a genuine fight, because you can't, even though we were there, we covered it, it was a great occasion, he won the American audience over. The Jake Paul victory in December last year wasn't a real boxing match. He held Jake Paul up for several rounds, and then he broke his jaw in 2 places against a guy who really is 9 levels below him. He's not even an area champion in.
Joshua may have plenty of holes in his game, and critics have not held back from pointing them out. This time, though, he has teamed up with Alexander Usyk, a move Gareth A. Davies believes could make a huge difference. Davies feels that training alongside Usyk will sharpen Joshua's weaknesses, improve his overall approach, and help him deliver the dominant performance everyone expects against Prenga.
It's been a long time out for him as well, and if this is the warm-up for the biggest monolithic, megalithic boxing match we've ever had in the UK, he needs to have a great camp, to have all the Usyk guys around him, and go out there and prove that he's tip-top.
Absolutely. Listen, he's out training in Valencia with Team Usyk. I think that, he's been under the watchful eye of them. He said he's made improvements, not just physically, but mentally. The training regime has been military as well, and you're going to see a new improved Anthony Joshua. And I know it, even at the age of 36, people are saying, how can you improve? Well, he says that he has improved, and that he's been under the tutelage of Team Usyk. It's going to be interesting.
I think psychologically they've been brilliant for him. And
so while some remain skeptical about Joshua's comeback, others are full of confidence. One of them is Edo Ladipo, who believes this version of Joshua is driven by a completely different hunger. He says the intensity, focus, and commitment Joshua is showing in training are on another level. In his view, that renewed mindset puts Prenga in serious trouble once they step into the ring together.
It's so good to see AJ back. Because there were times in the last few months where I questioned whether or not he would come back and whether he should come back. There seems to be a hunger there, a drive. He's saying all the right things. He looks good. He sounds good. And I think Prenga is in big trouble. I really do.
At a time when legends are pointing out flaws and weaknesses in Joshua's game, accepting those criticisms could work in his favor. But beyond those mistakes, there are also qualities that many fans still remember. Gareth believes this fight could end much like the Francis Ngannou bout, with Joshua using the same sharp timing, power, and precision that overwhelmed Ngannou from the very beginning.
He's fought a lot of lower level fighters. I had a long study of his record yesterday. The one thing that on AJ, first of all, I agree with you. It's fantastic to have him back. I think Prenga is in trouble. Just straight out there, I think AJ goes out there, and it looks like a Ngannou performance to me, where he'll size him up with the jab and let that booming right hand go and devastate Prenga, who obviously has a punch. But I saw when Anthony Joshua took his sunglasses off yesterday, I saw Prenga realise his throat moved, and I saw him realise that he's in with a very, very devastating and serious guy who's still very ambitious, to your point.
Eddie Hearn, who stands behind Joshua and monitors every detail of his career, believes this version of Joshua is more determined than ever and ready to prove his worth. He also revealed why they selected Prenga as the next opponent, explaining that this matchup gives Joshua the perfect opportunity to showcase his improvements and make a powerful statement.
And I think a lot of it has been through the support and guidance of Team Usyk and Alexander himself. Once he starts believing in himself, he's a big, big problem.
When you're sat there and you're mapping out the future, right, he's coming back, and you sat down, you're looking at names, how does Prenga come up?
Basically, you go through the heavyweight rankings. Prenga was a guy that we were going to have as co-main event on the Boots card in Philadelphia. He's a very, very popular fighter on the East Coast.
Yep.
Albanian support, as you know, is huge for these guys. I look at the knockout record, it's 20 wins, 20 knockouts. Right? I've got to sell a fight. We know that we're not picking this guy because he was once a unified world heavyweight champion, because he has a string of fantastic wins. But I need a big, strong lump that can punch and he's dangerous and he's coming to win.
According to Eddie, he knows exactly why they selected this opponent and insists there are bigger goals ahead, with Tyson Fury still being the ultimate target. He believes Prenga was chosen because of his skills and ability to provide a meaningful challenge. However, Hearn also made it clear that Joshua is not entering this fight to struggle, but to prove he remains levels above his opponent.
We picked Prenga to win, as in, we must win. Like, I'm not picking Prenga, so it's a 50-50 fight. And by the way, if AJ gets beat, it's all over. Forget the Fury fight, like the career's virtually done. Do you know what I mean? So this is, and
That's
these
the
guys...
pressure he needs to walk into that ring. Someone who can bang and someone who can
But Tone, you've got to fight someone.
Of
Yeah.
course.
I mean, this is what keep...
But the worst thing to do
what
would
they
be
say, listen,
get a
I
Jermaine
remember...
Franklin.
Yeah, but
That would be the worst thing.
I remember when we chose, collectively, me, AJ, Rob McCracken, everybody chose Andy Ruiz, right? We were going to, I don't want to be disrespectful to Trevor Bryan, who was the WBA regular heavyweight at the time. Don King phoned me up and he said, I know Jarrell Miller's out, go with Trevor Bryan. And I said to him, Don.
Hearn made it clear that Joshua has no option except to win, warning that failure could make the future extremely difficult. He insists the Fury fight remains the ultimate target, but if Joshua loses, that opportunity disappears. However, he remains confident, predicting that Joshua will not only beat Prenga, but will also be fully prepared to dominate Fury when that long-awaited clash finally happens.
This must be the first time this story is being told. I'm fascinated to hear this.
If we can't beat Kristian Prenga, we don't deserve to be in a ring with Tyson Fury.
You don't
so
want
yes,
someone
of course, everybody's dangerous. This guy, I actually didn't know he was European kickboxing champion. That does give me a massive bum twinge, I'll be honest with you. But this isn't a guy who was a kickboxing world champion who's never boxed before. He's got 20 fights, 20 wins, 20 knockouts. Like, he's an accomplished fighter. Now, just because he's never beaten an elite world level guy, guess what? He's never fought one.
Yeah. Doesn't mean
So we might be bang unlucky and he might be really, really good. But hopefully, and I believe with what I'm seeing, AJ will go out there and poleaxe this guy. And guess what? Once he does that, he's going to poleaxe Tyson Fury as well.
On the other hand, Prenga is making sure his confidence is not going unnoticed. He believes he is coming to break Joshua's plans and prevent him from reaching the Fury fight. The challenger remains convinced that he has the ability to do the unthinkable, shock the boxing world, and prove that the predictions surrounding Joshua could all collapse when they finally step inside the ring on fight night.
To cause the big upset. Do you find it offensive they've picked you to lose?
I don't think it's offended me, but I'm happy because they underestimated me. I think it's not good idea he make a plans to fight Tyson Fury. I like to make my plans only God. I don't want to make plans for myself. Because if I make a plan for myself, I want to go on top of God, and I can't do that. The God is first, it's the only one. He make the plans, and I think I'm gonna break his plan.
Despite many people pointing out the mistakes in Joshua's game, almost everyone agrees on one thing. He is one of the greatest heavyweights of this era, with a phenomenal resume, but Prenga does not share that view. He has made it clear that he does not consider Joshua among the best heavyweights, and claims he has already identified weaknesses that he plans to expose on fight night.
I just wake up and go in training now. Now I have more motivation than ever.
AJ is no longer a world champion. Some people don't have AJ as a top 10 heavyweight. Do you still feel like this AJ is still one of the best heavyweights in the world?
I don't think so. He's the best heavyweight in the world, but he's a great fighter.
Do you feel like there are now a lot of holes in his game that you can exploit? Do you feel like he makes a lot more mistakes that you can take advantage of?
He's a great fighter, but I think he have a lot of flaws.
Unlike Rico Verhoeven, who was purely a kickboxer, Prenga is someone who has been a champion before, but now has 10 boxing fights on his record. However, he has not received the same spotlight. Peter Fury explained the challenges fighters from kickboxing backgrounds face when transitioning to boxing. According to him, Prenga may spend the opening round trying to adjust, only to get exposed, with Joshua eventually breaking him down.
It ticks the boxes. Do you see Prenga as any kind of banana skin for AJ then, or not?
No. I think with his background, and I know what it is working with kickboxers, and we've got an elite level kickboxer, and how hard it's been to transfer him into boxing. I just don't think he's going to pose much of a threat for AJ, to be honest.
And he's going to want to work out, though, Peter. He's not going to want to sort of knock the bloke out in the first round. I mean, he probably does want to get a few rounds under his belt, doesn't he?
I think he'll have a look at him. I think he'll get behind his boxing, he'll have a look, but unfortunately, you know, I think he'll present his chin a little bit too quick.
Right.
And somebody with AJ's power, he's He's got destructive power, so as soon as that shot lands, it's over.
As for Joshua, he is working extremely hard in training camp, and for him this fight is not a tune-up or a warm-up bout. He sees it as another challenge against a different style of fighter who will bring his own threats. Joshua is not making any bold predictions either, insisting that his only focus is staying prepared, performing well, and securing the victory on fight night by action.
Do you see this as a tune-up fight, or do you treat this like the biggest challenge of your career?
I don't see it as the biggest challenge of my career, but I don't see it as a tune-up fight either. It's a fight. You gotta believe in yourself, man. I'm working hard. I've got to say what I feel. I want to win. I wanna do what I'm supposed to do. So it's nothing personal against Prenga. It could be anyone. It's not a warm-up fight. It's someone I really want to beat. I want to do it in good fashion as well. I want to go in there and showcase my skills. That's what this camp's about, is improving my skills. I want to go in there and show how good I am.
Do you have a prediction for the fight for me?
Nah. Only God knows. Only God. I'm just working towards a victory. But predicting how that victory comes, I don't have a clue. He used to be a kickboxer, actually.
Yeah, I've seen.
Joshua knows his opponent's background, and the situation once again feels familiar. While many people are focusing on his weaknesses, others are comparing it to Rico Verhoeven's clash with Usyk and expecting Joshua to deliver an even more impressive performance. He believes he is ready to showcase a great display on fight night, proving this crossover challenge can become another statement moment in his career.
I'm not MMA and stuff like that, but he's got a mixed martial art background, kicks and so on. So he's mixed a bit of, you know, different disciplines, kicking, punching. So we'll see how that crosses over July 25th.
The stage is set, and now all eyes are on Joshua and Prenga. Will Joshua prove the doubters wrong and continue his path toward fury? Or can Prenga create one of boxing's biggest surprises? Share your prediction in the comments, hit the like button, subscribe for more fight stories, and stay connected for the latest boxing updates.